Today I'll be talking about the top recommended apps which I use on a daily basis on my MacBook. So this is applicable to all the latest MacBooks. The भी latest MacBooks हैं उन सबके लिए applicable है. M1, M2, M2 Pro lineup. All these apps are going to be extremely important and तुम्हारी productivity को increase करेगा. Literally these are the apps which I use on a daily basis. So the first app which I want to talk about is Alt Tab. बिल्कुल जैसे Windows के अंदर Alt Tab होता है वैसे ही काम करता है. इसमें बस मैंने Command Tab करता हूँ. So I get to see like मैं calculator open कर सकता हूँ and I can open Spotify and I can open Safari and I can open my Zoom. So all such things. So it's basically just Alt Tab जो Windows के अंदर होता है. अब आप MacBooks के अंदर भी होता है ये, but it isn't as intuitive as this one is. And ये proper Windows वाला feel देता है. So this is the first thing which I always download on any MacBook actually. So it's a very nice thing. Like I just have to hold Command and Tab and it keeps cycling between all the open apps. And also you can even customize every single thing. Like you can customize क्या होना चाहिए, क्या विंडो का ऐप साइज होना चाहिए, क्या विड्थ होना चाहिए, क्या मैक्सिमम हाइट होना चाहिए, and all such things you can do. And you can even also remap all the shortcuts which you want. like तुम चेंज कर सकते हो जो भी तुम्हें शॉर्टकट चाहिए. एंड यू कैन ऑल्सो चूज लाइक जो विंडोज तुमने मिनिमाइज कर रखे हैं क्या वो तुम्हारे ये ऐप स्विचर के अंदर दिखने चाहिए कि नहीं दिखने चाहिए, एंड जो ऐप्स तुमने फुल स्क्रीन कर रखे हैं क्या वो दिखने चाहिए कि नहीं दिखने चाहिए. सो देयर यू कैन फाइन ट्यून इट टू अ मच हायर लेवल. I would just say customize it on your own preferences and जो shortcut तुम्हें पसंद है. अब मुझे मेरे fingers naturally command और tab के ऊपर like they always rest, so I often just do command tab and I can immediately change the current open window. So the next tab which I want to talk about is Dropzone. So basically the way how this works is like suppose and मैं इस screenshot को फिर यहाँ से I can drag it over here. Like similarly, like suppose I can just keep it over here, I can do my work, I can go wherever I want. And if I want to get back also things, I can just drag it and bring it over here. And also there are like direct shortcuts to it also. Like I can just drag an app over here and I can do an airdrop. So immediately I can airdrop it to my phone. Like similarly, even if I want, I can just send it on messages to somebody. And मैंने 3 folders बना रखे हैं where I can immediately go and save it. सपोज मैं इसे कोड के अंदर छोड़ देता हूँ वो अपने आप कोड के फोल्डर के अंदर चला गया. सो इट्स अ वेरी हैंडी फीचर टू बी हॉनेस्ट. आई यूज इट अ लॉट. सो द नेक्स्ट ऐप व्हिच आई वांट टू टॉक अबाउट इज रेक्टेंगल. अब विंडोज के अंदर क्या होता है, यू कैन जस्ट प्रेस विंडोज लेफ्ट एरो एंड विंडोज राइट एरो एंड तुम्हारा वो जो विंडो है वो लिटरली लेफ्ट हाफ एंड राइट हाफ ऑफ द स्क्रीन पूरा ऑक्यूपाई कर लेगा. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैंने अभी एक सफारी खोल दिया है एंड मैंने ब्रेव ब्राउजर भी खोल दिया एंड नाउ आई वांट बोथ टू बी side by side to each other, so I can just press, and similarly I can just press command left. So that is the thing which I really like. And rectangle के अंदर बहुत सारे shortcuts हैं. So if you go into rectangle, the shortcuts which I use a lot is left half and right half, and you can also like do it into like top half, bottom half, and there are so many shortcuts, but the most frequently ones which I use is left half and right half, and all these shortcuts are remappable. तुम इन शॉर्टकट्स को जो भी तुम्हारी मर्जी हो उस मर्जी के अनुसार तुम उसे चेंज कर सकते हो. सो दैट वाज अबाउट रेक्टेंगल व्हिच आई यूज इट अ लॉट. सो द नेक्स्ट ऐप व्हिच आई ऑफन यूज, देयर इज अ फ्री ऐप कॉल्ड एज अपस्केली. अब अपस्केली में होता ये है, देयर हैव बीन टाइम्स जब मेरे को व्हाट्सएप के अंदर बहुत ही लो क्वालिटी इमेज मिलता है. देयर हैव बीन टाइम्स लाइक ये मेरे पास बहुत पुरानी फोटो है एंड आई वांट दैट फोटो टू बी इन हाई रेजोल्यूशन. या कई बार होता है कि तुम इंटरनेट से कोई इमेज डाउनलोड करते हो एंड तुम्हें वो इमेज बहुत पसंद है बट यू आर नॉट एबल टू गेट हाई रेजोल्यूशन. सो तुम उस केस में क्या कर सकते हो, यू कैन जस्ट यूज दिस अपस्केली AI इमेजर. सो यू कैन जस्ट सिलेक्ट द इमेज एंड जो भी तुम्हें इमेज चूज करनी है. So for example, I've just chosen an image of myself and I can just upscale it and it will take some time. And ये सब locally होता है, ये तुम्हारे computer का GPU use करता है, does it without the internet. This has worked plenty of times for me and I use it very often. Especially nice for those who are not comfortable in uploading the images on the internet और किसी website पे जाके upscale करना अपने images को. You can just use this. So the next app which I want to talk about is Paste. is basically a clipboard manager, but the thing is, Paste is a paid app. I have downloaded the pirated version of it. Like people say कि pirated versions MacBook के अंदर काम नहीं करते हैं. Most of the things, almost all the software which I use on this computer are pirated, whether it be Microsoft Office or be my Final Cut Pro or all the major apps, all of them are pirated, and pirated ones work completely fine. A very common website where you can download pirated stuff is cmac.com. Paste is basically a clipboard manager. The way how it works is like, suppose I want to take a screenshot. अब मैंने इस चीज़ का screenshot ले लिया. And now I want to take a screenshot of this. मैंने इस चीज़ का भी screenshot ले लिया. What if I want to access ये वाला screenshot? So what I can just do is I can just invoke my shortcut and यहाँ पे मेरे को screenshots मिल गए. And similarly ये images के लिए नहीं, it even works for text as well. Suppose मैं यहाँ पे लिखूँ हा 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 और मैं इस text को मैं copy कर देता हूँ. And I can just press Control Shift S and I can just select whichever I want to bring it back to my clipboard. People must be wondering, यार what's so new in this? But the thing is, macOS के अंदर कोई भी clipboard manager नहीं है. Windows के अंदर है. Windows के अंदर the clipboard manager is really great. So the next app which I want to talk about is One Thing, and the app looks something like this. And now One Thing, basically the main simple purpose is it just has one thing to do, which is you can just go over here and you can write anything important. Yeah, you have to do something. Attend the meet at 4 p.m. यहाँ पे पूरा दिन तुम्हारा ये लिखा हुआ रहेगा. अगर कोई चीज़ तुम keep forgetting or there is one specific mission or one specific target which you want to complete and you want to achieve, you can just write it and it will always be visible right in front of your eyes. And you can always change according to your preferences. I can just write my own name and मेरा नाम लिखा हुआ है. So the next app which I want to talk about is Clipboard Manager and it's called as Copy Clip. ये बस तुम्हारे text को copy करता है and it just remembers the text. Whereas जो paste है, the one which we talked right now, it even keeps track of the images. So this is how Copy Clip looks. So I can just type another thing and I can just copy it. अब यहाँ copy हो गया. So I can just... So all the text which I've copied, वो उसका history रहता है. So basically, so the next tab which I often use is, many times AirDrop बहुत slow हो जाता है या काम नहीं करता है. When it works like a charm. But कई बार जब काम नहीं करता है, it irritates a lot. So Apple के अंदर there's an app called as Image Capture, and you have to just connect your iPhone to this MacBook and तुम्हारे सारे photos इसके अंदर दिखने लग जाएंगे. This is a very simple thing. People always bug about the fact that there is a lightning port and lightning port is really slow and it has only USB 2.0 speeds, which is a decade old. I completely understand, but USB 2.0 की speeds are 480 megabytes per second, which is actually a lot. It's not blazingly fast, but it's decent enough. And how often are you transferring your photos from your phone to your MacBook? If you're a content creator and you do it on a daily basis, yes, it makes sense. But if you're someone who does this occasionally or once in like a couple of months, you know what? Lightning is still fine because speed से कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Lightning का speed is completely doable for me. Type-C, everybody's talking about Type-C and one cable for every single thing. It's most welcome. I'm a very bit different sort of a person. मेरे में there's a thing that I want to use a cable for. Suppose MacBook का जो cable है, I will use it only with MacBook. iPhone का जो cable है, I will use it only with my iPhone. In fact, I often avoid sharing my cable with other iPhones. I don't know, मेरे में है ऐसा. So the next app which I want to talk about is Activity Monitor. Now basically Activity Monitor is not an app. By default ये अंदर होता है. It helps you to see how much of the cached files are, how much of the SWAT memory is used. अब मेरा 8 GB RAM variant है MacBook का and I've used around 5.5 GB, so I'm almost negligible. So there's the thing about, and you can even see your CPU usage. तुम्हारा CPU usage क्या है? So basically it's just a Windows के अंदर they call it as Task Manager in Windows. यहाँ पे they call it as Activity Monitor. So it's a very nice thing to see. And the next app which I want to talk about is Delete apps. और उसके नाम पे ही है Delete. So इसकी खासियत बस ये है कि it deletes every single thing. Like तुम्हारे जो भी data है ना, तुम्हारे cached files, every single thing, it goes to the root and it deletes every single thing. So it's a very simple app. Like just click on it और वो तुम्हारे जितनी भी temporary files और पुराने files जो छोड़ कर चला जाता है वो भी delete कर देता है. So it's a very simple app but useful one which I always use. And there's also another app which I want to talk, which is about disk utility, which is called as OmniDisk Sweep. OmniDisk Sweep के अंदर basically what happens is I can just choose the hard drive which I use. It will see and give it some time depending upon the size of your SSD and how many files you have. It will take some time, but it gives you a proper and a bird's eye view of तुमने क्या यूज़ कर रहा है, कौन सा फाइल, कौन से हिडन फोल्डर्स, कौन सा स्पेसिफिक फोल्डर, वो लिटरली तुम्हारे सिस्टम फोल्डर के अंदर भी दिखा देगा कि भाई ये चीज़ इतना ले रहा है. Now I can just go into applications and now I can see like, okay, Xcode is taking 13 GB. Final Cut Pro is taking 3.4 GB. Microsoft Word is taking 2.4. 2.4 क्यों ले रहा है? If I go into contents, then I can go into resources. Then I can go into defaults. So basically बहुत सारे it keeps going, and so it's a very great app for those who are on base storage, जिनका base variant है. So the next app which I often use is called as Microsoft To Do. No, Microsoft To Do is a very simple app where there's nothing, and that's the thing which I love about it. Like all these apps like Notion and all such things, they are very complicated in my opinion. वो apps तुम्हारे काम को आसान करनी चाहिए, but वो तुम्हारे काम को difficult कर देती है, and it's very overwhelming for somebody who's new. So I like the simplicity of To Do. I can just add tasks to it. Say get up early. Say go to the park. That's another task, and I can just click on the task which I've done. So great part is that it even syncs with my phone, and all the notifications come at the same time, and all that jazz. Another app which I use is this called as Urban VPN Desktops. And why specifically this VPN? Because this is one of the free VPNs which I know, and it works decently fine. So I can just click on any of the countries. Like suppose if I would like Slovakia, so I can just say connect, and it just connects to Slovakia. So thank you so much for watching the video. Until next time, goodbye, and please subscribe to this channel as well. And I hope मैंने तुम्हारे लिए आसान कर दिया है तुम्हारे मैकबुक को यूज़ करना. शुक्रिया आपका ये वीडियो देखने के लिए. मैं आपका बहुत आभारी हूँ. एंड प्लीज़ आप इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए. मेरे को बहुत खुशी मिलेगी. So until next time, goodbye.